Hello everyone, and welcome back to another live stream. I should probably go sleep in this bed over here. I have microphone feedback in my ear. That's really weird. Why have I got that? Oh jeez, it's very loud. Okay, all the things are wrong. All the things are wrong. What was I about to change a second ago? Oh my goodness me. I haven't live streamed for like a week and then everything goes wrong. Okay, I think we're good. I'm going to adjust the music volume a touch. Welcome back to another live stream here on the Twitch. That was it, the Discord thing. Yes, I just noticed that. That one... Wait, what? Okay, very, very odd. Don't know why that was on the screen. Jeez, we got noises in the air from Camping Meerkat, resubscribing for 2 months, saying 2 months already, time flies when you're loving the stream. We got Camo J123 for 36 months, saying, I did a thing, now I'm green, cool, happy 3 years. You are not green, you are emerald, good sir. Thank you so much for 3 years of support. FW Games is resubscribing for 11 months. And Miyataki for 37 months in a row. My goodness me. A Random Gamer 8 has subscribed with Amazon Prime. And Paval has subscribed with Amazon Prime also. I can't thank you enough so much for your support, peeps. Appreciate it. Hope you are looking forward to a stream. I'm getting that weird, like I haven't played Minecraft for a week. And when I look around... and move, it just all feels slightly nauseating. Not massively nauseating, just slightly nauseating is a little bit strange, I'll give you that. And we got things to do in this stream. I really want to talk about my trip to Rome, and so I don't really want to get too distracted by the game itself. So I've been thinking about what I could and should do. I might prep this area a little bit more. You might see me doing some of that. But the main thing I need to do is transfer some materials, and I made a list of things that I need to move around. So I need to take back some shulker box. Dude, your area is all the way over there. What are you even doing here, man? How did you get this far? Jeez. Crazy noises in my ear right here. Tor has resubscribed for 3 months, and Ollie95XZ for 39 months. My goodness me. Don't know where that guy came. Maybe he spawns in the cave and then comes out from down there. Either way, I'm getting slightly distracted. Thank you so much for the 39 months, Ollie. Paval says, wow, so rude attacking you like that. I know, right? So rude. Steno112 has resubscribed for 14 months, saying, woohoo, and another month bites the dust. How was your holiday, X? It was amazing, and I'll be telling you about it very shortly. I've made notes of prepared information, because, whoo, let's say whoo for now. Rome, amazing. What a beautiful city. Right, so I kind of want to, I don't even need this bamboo that I brought over here, it turns out. And I want to clear up some space, move some things around a little bit, take back some shulker boxes because we're going to be moving a lot of stuff today. At least that is the plan. So this box here can probably be emptied. And yeah, we're just going to hang out for a little bit here, listen to the noises in the air, thank all the peeps tuning in, and then we'll talk about Rome. I guess one thing we could talk about to begin with is the biome update that's about to happen or get voted on. The one, I didn't really catch much of it because I was on holiday, but they all seem pretty underwhelming was one thing I picked up on. Oh yeah, that's that, isn't it? They all seem pretty underwhelming, but there was one that was going to update boats, and I think it's the swamp. The swamp would add frogs and update boats, and I was just thinking, yeah, like, let's update the boats. Let's make them interact with redstone and carry items around and stuff. How cool would that be? I think they were going to add chests to the boat, which isn't that already in one of the versions of Minecraft? You know, bit cheeky, really. We'll give you this thing that's already in one of the games. Nah. It's always underwhelming says a man K763. I don't think the last ones were too underwhelming, the options. I just think... I think the mobs... I don't think you should get too excited about the mobs. I don't think they're really going to add anything again that'll make you go, wowzers. Also, what happened here? Because, like, there's a redstone exposed and stuff in this area. Okay, that's still there. Don't think the server's changed much. Well, I mean, I've only been gone for 5 days, you know? Had a 5-day holiday, that was it. And now I'm thinking everything's different. Oh, that being said, Twitch changed its look while I was gone. So that was kind of, it was like, oh, this is shiny and new. Alright, let's check these out. We got Steno112 research. Oh, I read that one. Thank you, Steno, again. Psychotiel has subscribed to Amazon Prime. Crease TV is resubscribed for 2 months in a row. And Aurorum W has gifted a sub to BK Knox. Thank you ever so much for gifting the sub. And thank you, BK Knox, for tuning in today. One boat left for me. Thank you so much for the support as always, Pete's. We got CHMX subscribing with Amazon Prime. We got Jumbo Crake subscribing with the Prime. Mobarix77 is here for 6 months in a row, half a year. And Ollie95 gifting a sub to Estelian for 21 months. Thank you so much, Ollie, for gifting the sub. And thank you, Estelian, for all that you do. I appreciate you in the chat, looking out for everyone's interests, as always. Mousefan9093 for 42 months in a row. My goodness me. My goodness me. Goat Unicorn says, I'm voting swamp. It will add a new mangrove tree. Will it? I don't think that... Did they actually say that? Like I said, I sort of half caught them because I was on holiday. One thing I've learned with like those little Minecraft videos is like expectations. You know, we voted for the Phantom, and now it's the mob that no one cares about. It's just like, oh, it's night time. Phantoms are here. Get rid of you. So when it comes to them adding a mob, I'm not excited in the slightest. I'm pretty sure their philosophy of the mobs just being environmental and atmospheric, so to speak, you know, I don't think they're going to change the game in any way, so I'm not excited about the frog, although, in my opinion, it's the cooler of the options. So yeah, like, I did not see them mention a mangrove tree, though. Unless they mention it specifically, you'll probably find it's not part of their plan. But anyway, like a 7th tree type? That'd be wonderful. I'd welcome that. More tree types, the better, if you ask me. So we've got to move at like absolutely loads of leather. And loads of sticks. So we're pretty much going to be filling up like all the shulker boxes today. Okay, there we go. Leather is here. And you see I'm running low. I'm technically running low on shulker boxes. Also, that clicking sound over here. Jeez, the clicking. Yellow Monkey says, how do I get your texture pack? Oh! 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 You can make your own resource pack. Head to assumeavoid.com/vanillatweaks. That is the place to go. That is the place to go. Okay, anyway, yeah, head there, build your own resource pack. All the tweaks that you see in the stream, you can pick and choose over there which ones you want. It's all good. It's all good in the hood, homie, you know? Oh, look at this. Just, let's go. Got too many boats. Got too many torches. Don't need a crafting bench. Right, anyway. I got a hot cup of tea and I need to drink it, don't I? Of course I do. I need to drink it like a trinket. Peeps, don't start drinking your trinkets, okay? I don't want to be responsible for people choking on their trinkets. Henkel Max is here for 21 months. Catkin63 for 29 months. And Aurorum W for 5 months. Thank you ever so much for your amazing support, peeps, as always. I appreciate it. By the way, I see people in chat and see comments all the time asking questions about Hermitcraft and stuff. And I just answered them all in an episode of Hermitcraft called 99 Questions and Answers. So if you got questions about Hermitcraft, go check out that episode of Hermitcraft. It's the last one that I made. Oh, I really need this. I haven't had a proper cup of tea in a while. You know, 3 or 4 days. Voodoo Beard, welcome to the stream, buddy. AC the Koala says, I've made a new drinking game. Every time says X says idea, I'll have some water. I've been well hydrated the last few days and weeks. Yeah, I like this kind of drinking game. You know, a hydration drinking game. That's my kind of drinking game right there. Let's get hydrated, peeps. We got Christian is asleep. No, you're not asleep, liar. Resubscribing for 2 months. You're not asleep, you're subscribing. You have to be awake to do that. Thank you so much for the support. We got Oculus42 for 5 months as well. Appreciate it. Pickle Guitar says, how is your username pronounced? It's pronounced however you like it, really. Because it's a made-up name. Okay, I'm going to fill up these free shulker boxes with leather as well. Because I have extraordinary amounts of leather to go and sell over at Idea. The store where we sell ideas and dreams and hopes and wishes and make them come true. No, we don't do that. Disclaimer alert, wishes may not come true. Kill them cows, says Asuma's friend. No cows were killed in the creation of this leather. Which is actually true. As strange as that sounds, I mean, well, you might actually know, you might get technical with me here. You know, no cows were killed. Okay. It's more than one type of cow. Jeez, leave me alone. Right, let's chuck this in here. I think the early bird crowd have tuned in and was settled in here. Maybe it's time for me to start talking about Rome. It's certainly all I can think about, and I actually picked this music that we're listening to because it reminded me of Rome while I was there, and I actually spent a little bit of time in the museums listening to this music whilst walking around looking at all the Roman stuff, and I was like, yeah, these go together. Okay, so that one we didn't fill up all the way, but that's absolutely fine. We now need to go get some sticks, believe it or not, of all things. We need to fill up shulker boxes full of sticks. So, anyway, I made some notes. And let's get the notes on the screen. Sweet. Sweet. Okay, so I went to Rome for 5 days. You know, the Romans, everyone knows the history, right? The Roman Empire. You know, in the history of our society, our global society, the progress of humanity, you know, we are currently living in the most, I don't know, forward point of all of our progression with technology and society. And in the past, there have been, you know, societies that have grown and collapsed, and the Roman one is one of the most famous for developing certain technologies and whatnot, and then eventually collapsing, right? And so it's got a remarkable history that spans several hundred years, and Rome is the capital of Italy and capital of the Roman Empire. The Vatican is also there. It's a remarkable place to go to, but I didn't really know that before I went. It's just one of these things. We know Rome, we know the history, like it's one of those things that's always interested me. And I've watched a lot of like films based in Rome, like Gladiator or Rome the series. Like I've indulged in it in that way, and I don't really know like the archaeological side of things, like what the state of Rome was like. So when I went there, I kind of went in a little bit blind, and I just had that sort of image of Rome and the Roman Empire in my mind from TV shows and movies and whatnot. And then when I got there, and it just kind of hit me about how old it is, how it's all in ruins. And it was so remarkable to see this city, how beautiful it was, and how these ruins were just all over the place. And some of them have been preserved, and the city is full of amazing stuff. If you were thinking of going there, I would say Rome is absolutely a fantastic place to visit. I haven't been to a lot of places around the world, but that is definitely the best place I think I've ever like visited. And when I was a kid, I went on quite a few holidays, but I didn't really appreciate them in the same way. But yeah, so anyway, first day there, we arrive. It's been a long day because we had to get up at 3 in the morning, and the first thing that we went to, we just walked past it and then went, let's go in, was the baths of Now, I'm going to butcher the pronunciations of this, but if you're watching it on Asuma Says, it's going to be edited with some images. So if you want to go back and watch this later on Asuma Says, there'll be some images of the places that I visit. So the baths of Caracalla, possibly butchering that. Really, really amazing. At first, we thought it was a bit underwhelming because we didn't realise you get to go inside. But once we went inside, it was, and underground as well, it was absolutely amazing. So you had these big old Roman baths where people would go to socialise and exercise, and then enjoy the hot water and the baths, and yeah, these things are so old and so falling apart. It is unbelievable, and they've done their best to preserve parts of it as well. Beautiful, beautiful place. Really cool place to go and explore. Let's check these things out here. Let's chuck them away. So yeah, that's the first place that we went to, and then we went to the Appian Way. Walked all the way, well, not all the way, it's actually a really, really long road, but it's got walls on either side, and wait, what on earth am I doing? This is the wrong way around. So we walked the Appian Way. That was pretty impressive. Walked it a couple of times actually, because it was kind of between where we were and where the Colosseum was. So we didn't do too much on the first day. That was all right. The second day though, we made a plan to go to the Colosseum. And the Colosseum was absolutely incredible. And it was also free. Now, it seems that every now and then they just do a free day where you get to go into the Colosseum. And the ticket to go in also gives you access to the Forum as well. And the Colosseum is absolutely mind-blowing how big it was and how long ago they built it. And it's completely crumbling and like in ruins, and big parts of it have fallen away. And we had a guided tour as well, which I'd really recommend. I wish we'd have done more of those, because the guided tours give you, you know, like a real sense of history when someone's explaining it to you. I'm going to turn down the volume for a bit. These witches are making noises. So yeah, the Colosseum. I mean, if you're watching it on Asuma Says, there'll probably be images of it in the screen. If you've never seen it before, or any of the stuff that I'm telling you about, I would highly recommend go looking it up and having some images to look at, because these buildings are just simply incredible, really. And they were built, you know, hundreds of years, thousands of years ago. Well, over 1,000 years ago. The Colosseum has quite an interesting history as well, which you've got to learn about. And anyway, it gives you access to the Forum, which is right nearby, and this is like a big reserved area with just tons of ruins that are in pretty good nick compared to some of the other stuff. Like, there's just this big area where you can walk around. And what's so magical about the Forum is that it's built on top of a hill, but they build out from the hill. So then you have all these big structures that rise up really high, overlooking other parts of the area. And I actually went onto Google to look up some images of these before I started this stream, just to remind myself. And I noticed that some of the images of the Forum have more columns from the old temples in them. And these images are probably no more than 20, 30, maybe 40 years old. It depends. They look really, you know, well taken images, which doesn't tell you how old they are, but it kind of gives you a hint. All those bright and colourful images that it could be taken with more modern equipment. And so there was stuff in these images that were actually kind of missing from when I went there. Sorry, the other way around. So I think at some point or other, parts of it have even fallen down and are still crumbling in the last couple of decades or whatever, which is absolutely fascinating. Oh, it's really good. If you go to Rome, you have to do the Colosseum and the Forum, and you can spend pretty much all day in the Forum. There is so much to see there. It is absolutely wonderful. Anyway, after that, we went to Trattoria, I'm probably butchering that one, to get some food. That was a really nice area to walk through all these little back streets and whatnot. Now, the way the city is done is, obviously you had a lot of the Roman stuff, but it's all crumbling and falling apart. Some of it's been preserved, and then most of the city was built up, according to what we learned on the tour guide, in the Baroque era, which is around the 16 and 1700s, I think. So the was that the 18th century, that kind of time. And they have taken parts of the Roman architecture as inspiration. So the buildings, which are all built up in like big blocks, and they're about 5 to 6 stories tall, they're decorated with really nice orange and pink and white colours, very Roman looking because all the windows and the bottoms of the buildings are all designed with kind of Roman looking architecture. It's just so fantastic. So then throughout the city, everywhere, there are loads of little bits of the actual Roman architecture preserved, and sometimes they're in the forms of ruins that are just in the middle of the street and they can be caged off, and sometimes they're integrated into the buildings, and so there's this really beautiful patchwork of just like this old and new, and you can just go walking and find stuff everywhere. It is unbelievable. And sometimes the ruins are just there and they're not really preserved as a site that you can pay to walk around, and information boards. Sometimes they're just fenced off areas where it's like, yep, there's just more ruins over here and we haven't built over the top of them. But of course all the best stuff is the stuff that's properly wandering. Voodoo Beard says, no wonder it's all ruins if it's Baroque. Oh, Baroque, got it. Baroque, the era of time. Jeez, you know what I'm talking about. I like that joke. I mean, of course. Yeah. Anyway, after that we went to the Sierra Massimio, probably butchering that name again. All the names will be butchered because it's me. And in this place is basically a big open area that they used to run the horses down, like chariot racing, that kind of thing. And that was just a beautiful area again, because wherever you are in this city, you seem to be able to look out and just see other stuff. And so you're walking around looking at the skyline, all the beautiful buildings. It's really, really remarkable there. Now, the next day, we went on the tour bus. And I got advice for you. Okay, if you go to Rome, I think you should skip the tour bus. If you do go and use it, go for one day and do a lap around the city. You can get to everything on foot, pretty much. You know, maybe if you're going from one side to the other for an attraction or something you want to see, it might take you an hour of walking, so you can use the metro. But the tour buses are not that great, and the traffic in Rome is really quite bad. So they're slow. The views aren't very great because there's lots of trees next to the roads, and you're going down. You know, the roads aren't particularly narrow, but the buildings are all built up, so you don't really get to see too much. It is nice to do a lap on the tour bus, but it's the one thing I'd say you should probably avoid if you go to Rome is the tour bus. I really didn't think it was good value at all. Much better to get out and walk around and see it yourself. But anyway, we went to the Capitoline Museum, and this museum was right next to this unbelievable building, and it's right behind the Forum. So there's like this cluster of incredible buildings you could spend 2 to 3 days at, and that's where the Forum and the Colosseum are. And this museum was split into 2 parts. You could walk underground. There's a little area you could go look over the Forum at, and they just had collections of art. And on the one side of the museum, it was all the headpieces of like Roman senators and emperors and statues. And they even had parts of a massive statue where like there was the guy's face and it was twice the height of myself. This thing must have been a colossal statue going way up into the sky. There was some incredible stuff in that museum to see. It was really, really fantastic. Now next to it, I've got 3 names for this thing. El Vittoriano Building, Elitari della Patria, and the Piazza Venezia. Now the piazzas are like open spaces in front of something. So I think the name of this building is the Elitari del Piatra, and I'm telling you, this building was absolutely stunning. When we were in the Forum, having looking out over the city, and the same from the Colosseum, you kept seeing this big white building with these 2 like Roman chariots of horses in front of them on top, with that sort of green decrepit metal that you have, and it kept catching the eye, and we had to make our way to it. And when we did, it has the most phenomenally massive entrance to this gorgeous marble white building. And it's simply breathtaking just to walk up there and look at the amount of statues and columns with things on them and everything that's gone into making this project. This building, it's just an absolutely breathtaking building. You get to go inside of it a little bit, and inside it's just, again, gorgeous, well-maintained building. That building I don't think was built in the Roman era at all. I think it was built way later. I didn't actually get the dates on that, but that's not like a ruined building. It's like a beautiful piece of architecture kept up to date. You get to go on top of the building as well. I think I tweeted out an image from on top of the building, so if you were following me on Twitter, you would have seen me tweeting out images from Rome. I did like 3, I think, and I think when I go on holiday next, I might make a bit more of an effort to share more of it with all of you if you're interested. But yeah, it was something special, Rome. And that building was certainly like a marvellous moment. So you get to go all the way to the top of it, and then you just have this absolutely stunning view of the city. Like, and wherever you look, there's just so many interesting things to see. Between all the more Baroque and modern era buildings, you will just see, you know, ruins and interesting looking buildings and chapels and domes on the top of churches. It is really, really beautiful from up there. And yeah, and after that we went round some more ruins that were nearby, and again, just the amount of them that there are, it's simply just fascinating. And there's always information so you can learn about what the ruins were and what they think they were and what they were used for and all that kind of stuff, which is really cool. On the 4th, are we on the 4th day now? On the 4th day we used the metro to get around because the tour bus was pretty pants. What we did is we did like a walking day, going through the city from one thing to the next, because there's just so much stuff everywhere. We picked out all the smaller attractions, right? You will be walking between streets where there's, you know, food and gift shops and all that kind of stuff, right? And then you'll just be walking down some streets and then bam, you're hit with something. So we went to the Trevor Fountain. Trevor, I'm sure I'm saying that one wrong. Trevara? Is it the Trevara Fountain? And yeah, there's just, in this little courtyard, this little place to hang out, there's this absolutely beautiful fountain with all these like statues of Roman people, like laying down spread out lions and things like this. And Trevi Fountain, people in chat are correcting me. Yeah, Trevi. Why does it say Trevor there? Got it spelt wrong. It's weird because I searched all this stuff before and it found it on Google. I guess if you search Trevor or Trevi, it gives you the same thing, right? I need some more chests here. Yeah, it was, again, like, just another... There's so many of these remarkable things. After that, we walked from there to the Pantheon. Now, the Pantheon absolutely blew my mind. I think it was, without a doubt, one of the best things that I saw. Now, from the outside, it's a pretty impressive building. It's one of the most well-preserved Roman buildings. The entrance has the classic columns with the triangle on top, looking spectacular. And the building around it looks a little underwhelming. It's all brick. All the marble that was on top of the brick has fallen off, and it's sort of ruinous. But when you go inside the Pantheon, oh my goodness me, you look up and you see this dome roof with this circle window in the top to let light in, and it's all been preserved with beautiful coloured marbles, greens and reds, all around the side. This beautiful circular room. The Roman architecture is just so inspiring. I've actually, like, I started looking up City Skylines mods for like, to play in basically with a Roman palette and build a Roman city. And then I was also thinking about, like, what about Roman building mods in Minecraft? I was just so inspired and awestruck. And that is one of the things you must also go see if you're ever in Rome, is the Pantheon. That was absolutely mind-blowing. It really was. Yes, what did we do after that? The Piazza Navona? I think that was just like this big open strip with some beautiful buildings. There's so much of that. There's so many places where it's like, oh, look at this building. It's absolutely beautiful. We went to the Villa Borghese, where we didn't really get to see a lot of it, but we went to a museum there and walked around a little bit. I think we actually missed out on the best of that area. It's basically a big garden area in the city of Rome, and we only kind of like saw a fraction of that. We also went to the Museum of Roman Houses, where you get to have a tour around a Roman house that was found underneath other buildings, and they kind of explain all the things that are inside of it. That was pretty cool, that one. I possibly wouldn't recommend that if you're short for time, just because it was like a 90-minute tour, and you go into a basement, but everything's like dark, and you're standing on glass to look at the ruins, so you're close to it, and then lights shine and like light up the little bits that they're talking about, and it's kind of great, but there's a lot of darkness, and you feel like you just like more time to see it with your own eyes for a while, right? Rather than having to sort of stand around listening to the voice explain stuff. You just want to kind of look at it most of the time, was my experience of that. So yeah, then we went to the Da Vinci Museum, and that was really great. In fact, one of the things I want to do is look up Da Vinci quotes, because there was a little room you could sit in, and you could just learn these quotes that he had said over time, and some of them are really profound and really great, and I just want to go grab a bunch of those and like drill them into my head, because they're like little mantras that you could keep with you. So that was really cool. And outside the Da Vinci Museum, oh my good god, the area there was incredible. It opens up, there's like a big centerpiece, and on either side there's these just beautiful stairwells to take you up, you know, to a higher level. I just reminded myself, we went to, I think, what are called the Spanish Steps or something as well in that day, and again, just a little area that between, like, it's like a hill, right? You got some buildings up top, and then you got some buildings down below, and they just opened up this area and built this gorgeous marble staircase leading up to a church. That was beautiful. But yeah, outside the Da Vinci Museum, they have two chapels, two churches with dome roofs and two pillars in front of them, and they've just designed it so it's like a symmetrical layout. Now, why you would put two churches next to each other, because generally the idea is to spread them out, right, so all the people in the city can get to them, but I mean, they were like identical, but when you go inside either of them, the inside of the churches that we've visited quite a lot of them, always beautiful. In that area, one was dark and one was light, and it was a really cool like dynamic to change it up between the two different churches. But again, just another gorgeous area. Wherever you go in the city, you can just find absolutely gorgeous things all the time. So I think it's now the 4th day, are we talking about, or the 5th day? Because it was like a 5-day holiday, but it was like 4 and 2 halves basically. So we went to the Vatican, which is technically its own city. So technically we left Italy and Rome. You know, it's its own country and its own city. And the Vatican has an extraordinary amount of wealth, and it's all been put in, well, not all of it, but a lot of it you get to see inside of this museum. Maybe not even a lot of it. I don't know, but like in the museum, it felt like even the corridors and the lobbies would just have stacks of art and statues or whatever. It's like they squeezed so much into that place. It was unbelievable. And there's so many people visiting, you're just constantly in a massive crowd getting hoarded through, and you'll just see breathtaking corridors with unbelievable ceilings of exquisite art and decoration. It was completely and utterly ridiculously lavish inside of there. And I got to see the 16th chapel, and it was a little underwhelming. It's the biggest room that's been decorated, and it's got a beautiful piece of art covering the one wall, which is what everyone goes there supposedly to see. But just before it, there was a little art gallery. It had Francis Bacon in it and a few others as well, and I really enjoyed that more than the 16th chapel, actually. There was this one painting of what I believe is a cardinal, which is one of those religious figures who dresses in all red, and they were walking through a field, and they were kind of plump and had this quirky look about them, and then the cows were like little blobs resting in the field with these quirky looking faces, and I just loved this one little painting. It was so like just peaceful and quirky and odd, and it felt quite out of place in there. But it was wonderful. Like looking at all of the art that they had. They had some really good art in there. I enjoyed that very much. And I'm literally gonna just walk and take these back because I'm just focusing on telling you about Rome at the moment, and then we'll get back to regular Minecraft streaming. So anyway, got to find a portal over here. Where are we at? The Vatican? My goodness me. So yeah, went around the museum, saw some beautiful Egyptian stuff. They had, I think they even had like a, yeah, they had, what do you call them? The caskets, the equivalent of that the Egyptians had. They had loads of those on display, and one of them with a mummified body in, just hanging out, being old and decrepit and dead. It was just like sarcophagus. Thank you, Yamifera. Yeah, and oh, Random Mexican says, how much did it cost? Good question. I did it all for a few £100. I say a few, more like 500, 600, somewhere around there. Which might sound expensive, but I don't really have a lot of experience with holidays to know if it was or it wasn't. I just know it feels incredibly worth it. Like, 500 is still cheap for such a holiday, says Yamifera. Yeah, well, I went with my my parents and other family members, and my parents are very smart with money. Like, so we didn't just go stay in a hotel in the middle of the city. We stayed in one out in the you know, in the, what would you call it, just where the regular population lives, like around where there isn't all the attractions. So you'd always have to walk in to get to the attractions, right? Like, just did things smart, basically. Suburbs, no, not that far out, because it was all still built up. You were still in the city. But anyway, they're really good with this stuff, and that meant that, you know, we went with Ryanair, so they're notorious for being a cheap airline. Supposed to not have any leg room, but I was alright and I got lanky legs. You know, we had to carry all of our luggage on the plane with us. All these little things like that are just totally worth it to save money, and then, you know, cheaper you can have your holiday, it just means you can save a little bit more for the next one, right? Anyway, so after we went to the 16th Chapel, which was incredible, St. Peter's Square, that's the place where you probably, if you've ever seen video footage of the Pope coming out and all the people waving at the Pope, it's probably in that area, St. Peter's Square, and it was utterly breathtaking. When I was on top of that big building that I talked about a while back, what was it called? The Altare della Pietra. You could use a telescope. What would you call them? Binoculars? Yeah, electronic binoculars to look over towards the Vatican. And when I looked over there, like, it was amazing how far it could zoom in, because you could see all these little statues around the big dome of the Vatican building. But when you're in St. Peter's Square, there's like these two semicircular erections of columns on either side, and they've all got statues on top of every column, and it is so breathtaking and so unbelievable. Got to spend some time there looking around, which is cool. And after that, we went into Castle St. Angel, which is Hadrian's mausoleum, and that is a must go to. It is really, really wonderful to walk around this mausoleum. I can't remember if it started out at a castle, but essentially it was always maintained and built upon by many different people over time. It was like a fortress at one point, and it had many different purposes, and there's like layers of architecture there. And the tour that you get to go on, which is you walking around and reading the little signposts every now and then, you just get so much out of that one place. I think next to the Forum, I think that's like one of the places where you get a ton of what do you call it, bang for your buck, so to speak. Like, you get an absolute load of value in that area. It was really, really fascinating story, loads of different things to see. When you get up the top of it, there's actually a restaurant up there where you can stop and eat, and where's the old golden carrots? You can stop and eat and have these incredible views out over the city. Now, speaking about cost, again, this is like one of the things. Like, we wouldn't go and eat at a place like that because you would then pay for it, right? We would always like try and travel outwards a little bit to eat so that the prices come down. I mean, we literally like walked down one of the roads one day from the Colosseum, and like starting prices for pizzas were like 20, and then you go a little further down to 16. And then a few streets further, and now they're like 10, 8 for a pizza, 10 or 8 euros. So that's the thing. You know, you walk the extra distance, you save half the price on your food sometimes. Padger says, finally food time. We'll get to that. I've made so many notes about the things I want to talk about. So, last day there, which was literally like 24 hours ago, I was in the catacombs, okay? And the catacombs, I remember it, four layers of catacombs. These layers could be about 4 to 5 meters deep, and it's spread over a 20-kilometer area. I think it said 9 acres of land. So you walk down the Appian Way, and then you get to this bit where all of a sudden you've got a big open garden with a straight road through the middle. And when you get to the middle-ish area of it, you got the entrance to the catacombs, and the entire area that's beautiful, beautiful gardens, lots of green grass. The whole thing is catacombs underneath. And it was so unbelievable in there. Like, it was just all these little cutouts in the side because it had all been raided. Like, Tomb Raiders went there and took all the bones. I don't know what they wanted the bones for, but anyway, it'd been raided, and like the popes used to be buried there, and they had to get moved somewhere else. And you just walk around these graves and just realise how different life was at one point. I mean, people used to come down here to visit their loved ones in the catacombs, and they were like little areas that were converted into chapels to prayer down there. Anyway, you only got to go down by 2 floors deep, but like you would walk around these corridors looking up and just seeing all of these little openings in the wall where people were buried, and sometimes the openings are really small as well, which is unbelievably sad. But it was just so breathtaking. And after that, we went into the museums of the walls. There's these walls that go around the city, and they've got a museum dedicated to it. You can walk through parts of it. That was pretty cool. That was free. So let's now talk about all the other things to comment on. So the weather was beautiful. It was sunny the first day that we were there. It did rain and we got wet a bit, but it was also warm, so you didn't really feel too soaked. But otherwise, hot, glorious weather, sunny, really lovely down there, Mediterranean weather. The traffic in the city is bonkers. It is chock-a-block with absolutely chock-a-block. Do you know what? I just realised something. I want to waffle. Nah, it's alright. I just had a thought. I'm going to keep going this way. The weather is... the traffic is chock-a-block. Stoplights and intersections, no roundabouts. And it's absolute chaos, like, for someone like myself on looking at it as a driver. I picked up on a few things. Like, there is a lot of, like, one-way roads that then all of a sudden come to other roads. And it's not very uniform. It's not like you got a crossroad. It's like you've just got 5 or 6 roads coming from all different directions. And it doesn't seem to be a lot of signs telling you where the one-way roads are or what turns you can take. It just seems to be a bit mad. And you press the button as a pedestrian to cross the road at the crossing. You wait for the green light of the walking man to come on. But one thing we quickly learned is, like, when it's green, it doesn't mean that now you're walking and no cars will cross the pedestrian crossing. In fact, the place that cars will still come from is over your right-hand shoulder. And this is really mad, because the one, like, biggest blind spot you have as a pedestrian crossing a road is to turn all the way around and look over your shoulder, and that's actually where the cars still come from. So I get this impression that although there are some rules and stuff, in general it's pretty much just go where you want and do what you want kind of attitude. There's a lot of horn beeping. The roads are also car parks. Like, any little bit of space that someone can park, there'll be a car park there. The cars are small, there's loads of motorbikes, but it is just like, although they're quite big and open between the different buildings, there's quite a bit of space. It's just chock-a-block parking, and just, yeah, totally bonkers. I don't know how to describe it. But yeah, if you go there, be very as a foreigner, be very cautious and look over your shoulder when you're crossing roads. Especially just outside the central areas. In the central areas, it's a little bit more, you know, safer because there's so many tourists. You can kind of tell that the people that live there kind of know that you're going to have some bumbling tourists derping around, you know, not paying attention. But as soon as you come out into the places where more of the people in the city live, then yeah, that's a bit scary around there. Right, so what else have we got to talk about? Food! Oh my goodness me. Italian cuisine, 10 out of 10. Absolutely loved it. It was great. One thing I will recommend if you go to Rome is be cautious of going to bars or like a corner stand for food, because one of the first places I got food from wasn't a proper restaurant, and it was basically just microwaved. Like, as I was eating it, I was like, this is just a meal, like a microwaved meal. It was nice, but I could tell it was just, you know, something they'd microwaved out the back and served us. So it was something to ask when we went into other places, is the food here microwaved? And they're like, yeah, and you're like, okay, going somewhere else then. But I think it's only a fraction of small things that are like that. Once you're there for a while, you'll probably figure out what the proper restaurants look like. And the food they serve is absolutely marvellous. I heard people say the pizza wasn't really good. I didn't have a lot of pizza, but I enjoyed what I had. The pastas are unbelievable. I don't know how they make them so tasty. Like, I've had pasta here a gazillion times at restaurants, cooked it myself. Didn't taste anything like it did in Rome. It was really good. There was also the is it gelataros, where they serve ice cream, and absolutely gorgeous ice cream. I mean, I'm not really a big fan of ice cream. I do like it, but I just kind of, I don't know, it's just not, it's such a calorie rich treat, right? And it's not really that satisfying, but the flavour of it was just so rich and gorgeous out there. So if you're going to Rome, like when I went there, first 2 days didn't actually eat too much. I was probably in like a huge deficit, which is not good, but you know, it was only for a couple of days, so that's fine. And then I think by the last 2 days I was in a huge surplus, because I was just like, I've got to take advantage of this. I was having snacks, ice creams, all sorts. So what they'll do when you go through the city is there won't be supermarkets. There are a few chain type stores. There, unfortunately, I saw 4 McDonald's, which, you know, broke my heart. There was also a KFC and a Subway somewhere, but like most of the time it's, you know, individual Italian restaurants, real things. Now they come in different forms, so you get like pastry shops on the corners. You get ones that sell ice creams, and there's also ones that sell meats and sell cheeses. So if you're going to take stuff back to your hotel or apartment or whatever it is you're staying in, you can pick up some good bread and meat and cheese and make sandwiches or whatever. Oh yeah, they make absolutely fantastic sandwiches. Again, I don't know how they do it. I've got a feeling that because there's a lack of big supermarket chains and stuff like that, that you have more locally grown stuff to cook with. So a lot more of the stuff is fresh, right? Because there's loads of meat markets everywhere, and there's loads of shops that just sell fresh cheeses, and I think that freshness probably helps a lot. But I had some sandwiches when I was there that were unbelievably gorgeous. The pastas were all absolutely fantastic. The ice creams were amazing, and the pastries were really wonderful. I used to treat myself to a pastry every now and then when I'd go shopping. Stopped that a while back because, you know, just it's not nutritious. I don't need to be eating that really. But if I were in Italy, oh my goodness me, it would be so difficult to resist because they were really scrumptious. I've now got this attitude of like, it ain't worth eating something that's a treat unless it's really good. And in Italy, it is really good. So I ended up, like, once I cottoned on that the ice cream and the pastries were so great, I would just start treating myself and be like, I'm on holiday, having a break, time to enjoy this stuff, right? Are we out of sticks? We are almost out of sticks, aren't we? So yeah, I'd recommend doing the same if you go there, you know. Give yourself whatever diet you're on, just give yourself a break. Have fun while you're there, and account for the fact that yeah, there is some gorgeous food available for you. How many of those are we going to need? A few more, I reckon. So yeah, that was the food. Also, my mate recommended getting the antipasto, and I only had some on the last day. And the antipasto was like a little dish of some meats, various different vegetables, and cheeses. And for some reason, they were sensationally tasty. I had mushrooms, and I'd never eaten mushrooms so tasty as in the antipasto. And then I had antichoke, or whatever it was, for the first time, and that stuff was absolutely gorgeous as well. Couldn't believe how tasty that was. Oh my goodness me. So the other things that I wanted to say, we're getting near the end of my list now, so we'll just wrap it up here, the whole Rome talk. Prices were really good. I never felt like I got ripped off for anything. If you're going to buy food right next to the main attractions, they're always going to be more expensive. But going around buying bottled water didn't never really cost more than €1. There were lots of free attractions, and I felt like I wasn't in a touristy place a lot of the time. I've been to places before where there's constantly gift shops and there's constantly like someone trying to sell you an ice lolly. Like, it all felt very authentic. It didn't feel very corporatized, the tourist industry, and there wasn't a lot of typical touristy stuff going on, right? It just felt like you were in someone else's city more. They have bottle refilling stations now. They did when I was there a few years back. I didn't see any of those, although they did have water coming out of the walls. Every now and then you see like a little fountain with water pouring out of it. And I was told the water at Rome, we shouldn't drink it. But I think when we were in restaurants, they were giving us tap water, and we probably could have. So we ended up using a lot of bottles, which is not something I like to do. Anyway, just the vibe. I didn't feel like they exploited the tourism aspect of it in that way. Like, prices were really reasonable and good, and you weren't constantly bombarded with tat or, you know, tacky stuff to sell. There were little touristy shops here and there, but it always just felt local and authentic, and I really appreciated that aspect of it. Yeah, one last thing, you spend a lot of time looking down, believe it or not, because there are a lot of roads that are paved Roman style, right, with old rocks, and you have to watch where you walk a little bit. Did you feel safe there, says Crockett Guy? I did. I felt, yeah, really, you know, all the Italian people were very nice and welcoming. And Badger says, I've never followed the tap water rules. Same with not having ice in your drink. The tap water rule for going on holiday, as I know it, is sometimes you go abroad and just the way the water is there, the way it's treated or whatever, is going to upset certain visitors, right? In the same way the people from there who drink the tap water would come here and get upset by our tap water. That's the way I've understood it. I don't think it was actually true in this case. I think it would have been fine to drink the tap water. Anyway, questions? Anyone got questions before we wrap up our Rome little section that we're doing here? Badger says, I'm from London, our tap water is the worst. Yeah. In Turkey it's the worst, says Saw in the Sky. I mean, I've just been on holidays where you literally told when you get there, don't drink the tap water. You won't like it. You won't get on with it. Alright, now chat's talking about tap water. Starry Sky says, would you go again? I absolutely want to go again. I want to go to Pompeii. I just want to go to loads of places in Italy now. Great food, and I just realised how much I love all the Roman stuff, right? Like, I should have been binging documentaries and stuff about Rome and Romans before I went there. But when I was there, I was like, when I get back, I'm just going to watch so many movies and documentaries about this stuff now. Just totally rekindled my love for it. World War II 44 says, did you see any stuff related to World War II? I didn't really. No, I didn't see anything related to it, now that I think about it. Not even like, I don't know, I guess, was Rome ever really invaded? I know that the Allies moved up through Italy, but I don't think they destroyed a lot of stuff on the way. I don't really know too much of that. Voodoo Beard says, what's more fun for you, a day out, museum trips, or a download festival? I mean, I love that, like, you get to do all three, right? I wouldn't want to pick one or the other, but going on a holiday to Rome is certainly incredible. I don't think I could pick it over my music festivals, but I don't know. I've been to a lot of them now, you know, so if I could keep them all, I'd keep going on holiday. Oh, apparently Italy surrendered before the Allies reached Rome, I see. If you had good antichokes, you must have been in a different universe, as Julian Sauter. I love vegetables. I would describe it as an asparagus type taste that also tastes a little bit like meat. That was the antichokes that I had. Anyway, should we wrap this one up now? Artichoke, that's how it said, yeah. Let's wrap this one up. We've done our Rome talk. I did some grindy moving of materials over here. Going to be selling item frames and levers over in this area. But yeah, that was the little Rome talk, I guess. And I hope to go on another holiday soon and hopefully do more of them. Let's have a look at what's on the list. I obviously got to catch up with noises in the ear as well. Let's do that quickly, and then we'll get back to some Minecrafting action now that I've waffled on about Rome. I really wanted to get all of that off my chest. I loved it so much. It was without a doubt one of the best holidays I've ever had. Oculus 42, we read that one out. Thank you again for your resubscription. Here we are. Johannes7 has subscribed with Amazon Prime, and Badger Spanner has gifted a sub to Tuxaban for 4 months. Badger, thank you so much for gifting the subs. As always, I appreciate you doing that. Whoa. And we got Dimwits MC with a donation saying, in your Hermitcraft question video, you mentioned that to help reduce rubber banding, you have a mods loader running. I also run content creator server called Dimcraft. We have the same issue. What is the mod loader? By the way, thank you for awesome work. The mod loader is called Fabric. The mod was a custom one made for us by Nembom. I don't know if it is available to the public or not. It was just something he coded for us. So thank you, Dimwit, so much for your donation. I appreciate it. We got Full Velocity for 2 months saying yo, 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 yo. Thank you so much, Full Velocity. I appreciate your subscription. We got CBD Free, subscribing with Amazon Prime. Extos Shady, resubscribing for 2 months. We got Walkers Gaming for 26 months, saying welcome back. Thank you, Walkers. It's good to be back. Aloax, resubscribing for 20 months, saying woo, 20 months. Appreciate ya. Yeah, it is good to be back. I would have liked to stayed for a little bit longer. Jason1 is here doing cheers for own bits, saying I keep seeing printers, scanners and webcams out of the corner of my eye. It's peripheral vision. Very good, I like it. Thank you so much for the cheers and bits, dude. Hope you're enjoying the stream. We got Tree for 41 months saying hope you're enjoying Italy. Be careful about the traffic if you decide to go cycling in the mountains. Ooh. Oh, that's a good point actually. Like cycling abroad might be something I want to do in the future as I get better at it. I was thinking of going to the Netherlands, if anywhere, because it's flat. I mean, I'm not really a fan of, like, climbing hills. I think I much prefer cycling flats. GBV is here for 31 months, and London Bug 71 is here for 6 months. Thank you ever so much. Appreciate it, peeps. Adam Dumb 85 is here for 16 months. Incredible support. Minecraft with Mitch is here for 2 months, saying, dude, it's 6 AM here, but you're worth it. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. You should really go to bed. Or actually, 6 AM. You may as well start the next day. Jack Arian is here with Amazon Prime. Piram? I don't know. 3s and 5s. What letters are those supposed to be? Thank you so much for your Prime subscription. We've got the Jacoby 23, Never Nude, and Rovandir. All subscribe with Amazon Prime. I can't thank you enough, peeps, for your support. It's incredible. It's tremendous. I appreciate it. Thanks to all of you, I get to go on little holidays to Rome. So thank you so much for that. And I'm now just looking at my list. You know, I was thinking, now we can do some real Minecrafty stuff, right? But no, it's a live stream. We're not going to get anything done. What did you expect? What did you expect? I took all of those shulker boxes back. didn't I? And then I came over here and crafted stuff. Yes, yes I did. You go over there. Sweet. Right, so what I'm thinking now is we've got some... What are in these chests? Ah, I see. Oh, they were empty. They were empty. What we're going to do now is go check out our... Oh, I'm actually going to need more shulker boxes now to think about it. Let me fly, server! Come on, no one else is online. They're all at that Minecon thing. Oh, jeez. There we go. We're going to go check out the flour situation. So I'm probably going to need to pick up some bone meal and shulker boxes to hoard a whole bunch of flowers next, because I'm going to sell dyes over here and whatnot. Swamp, says the Jaffa Thief. I probably need to visit the swamp to get certain types of flour and dye as well, don't I? I said flour, and it just made me think of one of the pastries I had that was covered in flour. Oh, the Roman food is so good. So good. So good! Flour, says Tuxpan. Yeah, I had a pastry that just had flour on top of it. It was gorgeous. Can we talk about the biome vote? What's your opinion, says Haley, says hi. I thought, you know, I didn't have time to properly watch the videos. I kind of was on holiday and just sort of went, oh, okay. But it seemed to me like they didn't really have a lot of ideas for the features of the biomes. And it seemed like the swamp was the best one because it said put chests on boats. Hopefully that stuff will interact with redstone as well. That would be really terrific. Oh, look at this. This is why there's supposed to be a pressure plate here, so you pick one up as you go, because they're all accumulating down this end. Okay, area I want to go to is Tango's, which is over here. We got a noise in the ear. Cheers and bits from Soko Builds saying the Netherlands are lovely. You should visit more rural places too. Most people visit Keukenhof and Amsterdam, but Leeuwarden is the cultural capital of Netherlands, and Den Bosch is a lovely city. I study here. Also, you should visit Mumbai. It's like Rome. Sorry, I couldn't get the donation sooner and change the topic. Oh, it's quite alright. Thank you so much for the cheers and the bits. So of course I appreciate that. I saw someone else in chat mentioning Mumbai, so I'm just going to copy your message and read it again after and maybe research some of those places. Here we go. Sweet! Thank you so much for the suggestions, dude. I will check them out. I will check them out. Actually, I think the better way is to go through this ball. Now think about it. Loving the organ music, says Excentria. It's wonderful, isn't it? Visit Norway, says Pete. I do want to visit Norway. I mean, I want to visit all the places, right? Ooh. Oh, yeah, that makes me down here now. Oh, I've gone through the wrong portal, actually. This is Forces. I like this storage area, though. It's cool. Aha! Aha! Wow, this is wonderful. Yeah, speaking of like being inspired by like the Roman architecture, I just saw some stuff like the layouts of buildings and paths. That's the thing I think I was most inspired by, was just the layouts of buildings and paths, and realised like how interesting you can make builds look when you think things through a little bit more. And I realised that the Roman architecture is really quite tricky to do in Minecraft because like the shape of the roofs and needing a texture that matches those tiles that you would have had. A lot of the components for doing the Roman architecture doesn't really translate very well to the blockiness of Minecraft, because a lot of it revolves around detail as well. You want to make those statues that appear on the columns very visible. But with a mod, you might be able to do some real cool Roman engineering, so to speak. So let's check it out. Over here we get cornflowers. Wait, why would we get that now? I wonder if the map of all the different dyes kind of changed because of that. Anyway, what I really need to do is figure out what colours these give me and then what ones we won't get here. So let's take all of the different types. I mean, we know poppy is the same. I just want to check these. Allium, pink, orange. Let's start converting them into dye. So we get red tulips. Right, so we get light grey from the oxide. We get white for... Oh, it's also light grey. So we don't get white at all. We actually get light grey from 3 different types of flour. Pink, orange. We can combine some to make others is another point. So we get all of those colours. What ones haven't I fished out here? I think we've done all of those. So we'll also get the cornflower. That's kind of it, actually. That's blue. Oh, wow, we can make blue, so I don't need lapis. Now I can combine blue with some other colours. I guess we're gonna need cactus dye. I want to make like chests of all the dyes for my shop. So we're gonna need to bring a lot of bone meal over here and leave it running for a long time, I think. And then that will supply us with large amounts of certain types of dye. Now, how are you supposed to get out of here? Oh, there's also... What's this? Is this part of the same thing that I've just forgotten about? Oh, it kind of looks like... Ooh, hello, rocket. Oh, hello, rocket again. It kind of looks like this is for putting in extra... Wait, can you put flowers into that stuff? Like, we're going to get a lot of light grey from this. So rather than putting these flowers into, you know, into making light grey, can we compost these? Yeah, you can. Okay, so that's for making bone meal. And then we can kind of recycle a lot of stuff. Oh, oh wait, they're the same ones we looked at a moment ago. Cool, alright, I kind of just wanted to see what was going on there. Ah, use the seeds, someone is saying. Okay. Okay, now when it comes to green dye, we've got no issues there, have we? No issues at all. I kind of need to make a map of all the dyes. Sahara now has dye boxes, says Agent Pookie Duck. They might do, but I wanted to do the dyes myself. It had been a plan for this idea shop for a while, and I'd like to stick to it. You know? You know? Okay, so I know that my bone meal supply is pretty... Wow, this area, man. Is pretty depleted in some spots. In fact, where do I get... bones? The chunk of death will have bones. So if we're going to go fish out some more bones, we need to go to the chunk of death next. So I need to grab... Let's just fly over the server for a little bit. Today's just been a day where we run around with shulker boxes, moving items about. It's just one of those days. Oh, I like the music, says Rainbow Girl. I picked this music because it reminded me of Rome. And I think a lot of the music was inspired by Greek and Roman era gods and mythology. In fact, the Greek civilization, the Roman Empire is kind of an extension of it. There's a lot of similarities between them. T-Bone Uprising is here. Resubscribed for 3 months saying, have you ever heard of the band Burning Ghosts? They're a free jazz metal fusion group based out of Los Angeles. I have no idea if you'd like them or not, but they're certainly interesting and worth listening to at least once. Burning Ghosts, I think I have heard of, but I will write down the name. I'm actually going to, I actually decided I kind of want to like slow down a little bit on my excessive music listening and blogs. What was I listening to? I can't remember what it was. It was while I was in Rome. This little thought about like, do you ever find yourself being bored? And like, or having free time and not knowing what to do with it. Now I'm a busy bee. I know that I like to keep myself busy, ironically. I don't know how much stuff of this we're going to need, but we'll grab plenty. Now I'm a busy bee. I like to keep myself busy. I like to do things, but every now and then I do end up with a chunk of potentially free time, and I'm like, oh, what do I do? And this thing talked about picking up a new hobby. And lately I've just been feeling like I might want to change gears again and find something new to do. Like I did guitar for a while, and that kind of fell flat on its face. And I think I shouldn't look at that as a disappointment because I enjoyed it so much, and I can always pick it up again and do that. But I think it would just be like better to look at downtime and free time like an opportunity to learn something. So next time something like catches my eye or my interest, I think I might just make a note like, oh, you know, doing some woodwork, or I don't know, like skateboarding. I'm not going to start skateboarding, but I'm just making an example. Like I might just keep note and think, hey, next time I end up with like a chunk of free time, am I going the right? I am going the right direction. I might just like start to develop a new hobby, you know. And so I'm thinking I should maybe spend a little less time writing about music. Like, I really got a lot of that out of my system by doing that for a few years, you know. Anyway, I'm just kind of thinking about, like, you know, time management and what's important and what do you want to spend time doing and ways to be more productive with your time. Always interested in that. We got a noise in the ear from Mikael Stigl for 34 months saying, "Hey Asuma, can you sing one line from your favourite song?" It Richard Father. I can't. No, I can't. Just feel too embarrassed. Enrich me with the vastness of your being. No, okay, that was the worst thing ever. I think I just. Although I know all the words to it, like, pretty much off by heart, as soon as I'm put on the spot, my brain just goes fuzzy. Oh, you totally put me on the spot there, thanks. Oh, appreciate it, dude. Thanks so much for the support. We got Randy Nicole 2002. Gifting a sub for Jesp K77. Thank you so much, Randy, for supporting the community and gifting the sub. Very kind of you to do so. And thank you for all you do as well. Appreciate it, dude. Oh man, I'm actually struggling to, like, remember the lyrics because I haven't thought them through in quite a while. I really want to remember them. Now my brain's just going, like, blank. I can just remember the one bit. Oh, maybe it'll come back to me in a minute. We'll come back. I'll see if my... Like, you know when you focus on something, you're really trying to remember something? It's usually, like, the worst way to remember it. I'm just going to let my, like, mind rest, and then maybe some of the words will come back to me. In fact, the one bit... Is it the same song or not? But the one lyric that... I think it is the same song. Knowledge is power, and the power is mine, it's all mine. Anyway, let's go this way. Why don't we get Suma to troll Keralis, says Rustic Dreams. Well, Keralis isn't online, so it'll be tricky to troll him. Where am I going next? Back to the flower farm, I guess? Get that thing tanked up with bone meal and get it running. What are you doing today, Asuma, says Mando? Not a lot. I mean, I just wanted to get Rome off my chest, and I haven't had too much of a cohesive plan because I've been away. We're just sort of wandering around, talking, and I mean, I could use the boat, but I haven't got the boat on me, and moving supplies around. Asuma, thoughts on the possibility of new terrain generation if mountains are updated? If they're updated, the way the generation stuff works now, you won't have big chunk borders anymore. So when you explore new terrain, the mountains will just look different, I believe is how it would work. X, how's your day been, says Queen Bee. Very good. When I got back from Rome, I unpacked and sorted everything out very swiftly. And now I've just been putting clothes in the wash. And yeah, today just woke up, did some yoga. One thing I did with me is I took my yoga mat with me to Rome and doing yoga every day and then walking all day long. Like, just constantly walking. Really, really good. Really good decision. Definitely going to take my yoga mat with me every holiday now. It's just a good way to keep yourself, like, in shape. Where are we going to go? That one this time. Rome's a nice place to visit, says Kazi. It is a beautiful place to visit. I thoroughly loved it. Okay, we know where it is from here. Hyped for Minecon live today, says Pfeffy Boy. Not really. I mean, like, I'm excited to see what the next update is, but that's about it. The rest of Minecon live doesn't particularly interest me. That being said, Might be able to watch the Hermit panel as part of that. I don't know if the Hermits are a part of it or not. That'll be interesting. Actually, the Psycraft panel as well. So yeah, sometimes the panels are good, right? But the show as a whole, not that interested. Just waiting around for the update is mostly what it is. They don't have a panel, I think, says Mr. Creator. The Hermits have a panel, so do the Psycraft guys. Which is awesome to see some technical Minecraft getting represented over there. And Hermits, of course, you know. That's quite unbelievable that we're at Minecon, but yeah. Okay, I'm going to put them up here, you know. That's the way we're going to do things. So, this has all been... I don't know who did this. I don't think this was me, but this has all been kind of like modified and updated. Now, down the bottom here is where the bone meal goes. There is no hopper delivery system for this stuff. What I could do is just add some hoppers to... I can add hopper chains out to the side and put chests on top of them. I could modify this a little bit, couldn't I? Then you could have some big storage. Not sure if I want to do that or not. What's over this side? Oh, hello. Whoa, easy there. Easy. What's all this? Lots of seeds. Lots of seeds. Mr. X is a musically inclined individual. Do you have any advice to get songs out of my head when they get stuck for a while? What's the song I had stuck in my head? Oh my god, right. So there's this song by Queen. If you want to get any song out of your head and replace it with another one, there's this song by Queen called... I don't know if it's called Suicide or Don't Try Suicide. Anyway. Don't try suicide, you're just gonna hate it. Don't try suicide. Anyway, it is awful. It is tone deaf. And because I'm going through the Queen records, I came across it. And it's like this just jovial, hollow message about, like, don't do suicide. I mean, I feel like if you're going to talk about that subject, you should have something a little deeper to say. But anyway, the song just is so tone deaf. And it just sounds like the government have sort of coerced Queen. Like, we need a popular band to do a song about this suicide thing, you know? Kind of like 80s mentality. Like, not really understanding mental health and things like that as well. And it's just such an awful song. But the weird thing is, it got totally stuck in my head, and I was just like, why is this song stuck in my head? It's rubbish. Oh, it's worth a listen, because Queen have made so many amazing songs. It's kind of funny to hear them make such an awful one. But like, I'm sure the intention was good, right? I'm sure they didn't want to, you know, there's no ill intention in that song. It's just a bad song. It's just completely tone deaf to the subject they're talking about. And, yeah, worst Queen song by far. Oh wow, that one's like really low. Anyway, we should get this thing running. We should get this thing running already, just to start doing some maintenance down here, you know. We've got a lot of work to do. The lever to get this farm going is there. Oh no, the frames! The friggity frames! They're diggity dying! Because I'm diggity das effects now. Jeez. We've got noise in the ear, by the way, from Bass Milius, doing cheers for a bit, saying, what are your hopes for the next Minecraft theme update? I hope we get the inventory update. Hey, playing that game is getting pretty slow, having to manage and jumble all of those building blocks. Let's give you an extra space in your inventory to do all the stuff. Give you better ways of managing items. That's the update I'm looking for. I mean, they could probably make the name a little bit smaller than that, right? I mean, that's a bit long-winded of a name. But that's what I want to see. I want to see them address these crazy amounts of items the game now has. I mean, especially for building. I just think it'd be so much nicer to have a more streamlined system, because you have access to so many different blocks, so many different ways to build, so many different shapes and varieties, and not being able to access them quickly just kind of, you know, means you spend all this time finagling in your inventory. And I don't, you know what, peeps? I don't want to finagle anymore, okay? I don't want to finagle. Alright, that's just how I feel. Inventory sorting like buttons like in Too Many Items mod, says Soko Builds. Nah, not like that. I think like condense things. So if you've got the cobblestone block, you know, be able to place all the cobblestone shapes easily from that one block, rather than having 7 different types of cobblestone block in your inventory. Just have one, something like that. We've got a noise in the ear from Dat Man Mills doing cheers and bits. Thank you so much for your cheers and bits, man. I appreciate it. Also, thanks to Bass Millis as well. Badger says, "Geez, X, stop finagling yourself." Finagling, I love that word. User Bob says, "I love finagling." T Fox says, "Tango Tech is back." How do you know that? How do you know that Tango Tech is back, man? Talking of inventory management, again, it's just horrendous. I need a chest. If I need a chest, I've got to go in. I mean, I'm organised, right? Gonna put a chest over here. Gonna put these shulker boxes so we can move dyes around later on. Look, I got some random sticks and a bed in here and rotted flesh. Oh, I will complain all day. I will complain all day. So these seeds have got to get converted into bone meal. He did a live stream and said he'd be back on 2 weeks. Cool. All right. I wasn't sure if he was keeping it a secret or whatnot. Anyway, we'll get some bone meal out of this. Probably not a lot. Probably not a lot. All right. He streamed on Hermitcraft. Cool. That's good. What did he get up to? Did he just sort of fly around and look at stuff, do a tour, or I don't know. Apparently he was on Ren's live stream. Oh, cool. Prank Tango. We saw him log in on a TFC video. All right. Well, and you saw him log in there. Cool. He took a tour. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's great to have Tango back. I mean, the more the merrier, right? It's almost like we've got the whole crew together. Oh, I can hold down right click and do this faster. Okay, that'll be the last little trip for that. I mean, I could set up like item filters and stuff for this around here, but I just feel that'd be a bit over the top. Okay, so slowly we will produce bone meal. It probably won't make a big difference. Still got loads of the seeds though. And I guess slowly we're going to accumulate flowers over here now. That's kind of cool. What to do next? I'm really disorganised this stream, peeps. I hope you enjoyed just hanging out with me. I always feel guilty if I'm not being like Minecraft productive, but I've just come to the realisation that I've got no clue what I'm doing. I just had this idea of like, I'm going to need flowers. So we're going to need cactus. I guess I should fill up a shulker box full of cactus. That's probably going to be my aim, is to fill up a shulker box full of each colour. So I guess I could work on the stuff I know doesn't come from the flower farm. So we'll need a few stacks of cactus lying around, which won't be difficult. Could do a legendary hermit's room. And the top permits to change. What? Okay, why do I pick the message at the top of the screen? I don't know. I don't know. You know? I just don't know. Have you seen the flower farm Green built? The El Mango one, says Pascolan. What one would that be? I think it's sort of similar to what we got going on down there, right? Just a... I want to read what that is. Why is there glass on a sign here? I think it's a similar concept to that one, just fast and compact, right? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think it's a similar model to... No, not to... Oh, it's a shifting floor one, is it? Anyway, yeah, I know he built one. I don't think it can do more dyes than the one we've got. We're going to have to do the swamp to get dyes as well. Although, isn't that just light blue, which is bone meal and... Where am I going? This direction. bone meal and yeah, blue flowers. So yeah, I think that's what's in the swamp. So we don't really need to go to the swamp one. Double Moses says, yeah, swamp for light blue. Right, so we won't really need to do that if we're getting cornflower. Because bone meal's easy. Easy peasy. Ah, look! Python finished building this. Sweet! Oh! Oh, no, not quite. I thought the tops were done because I saw the carpets, but no. And they're all lit up as well. That's really cool. Yeah, I didn't do the floors when I did this tower. Ah, it's empty. Some of these have, like, different floors in them, I noticed. Ooh! Ooh, wow. Whoo! Very fancy schmancy down here. And that tower looks good. Oh yeah, that was on my list of things to do. We could hang out over here and do a bit of work on the bottom of that. I think we'll do that actually. Let's stick in Tower Bay for a bit. This place is great. So in here, sugarcane supplies are wicked. They're wicked. They're wicked rad. Wicked rad. Oh. Oh. I wonder if this stuff's still working properly. Like, I've been in the area a fair bit. I would have expected this to have filled up by now. Can I really see what's going on back there? So what'll be the next one to fill up? Just this one here. And in theory, there should be cactus coming through all the time. Why don't you have a rumble on Hermitcraft? Let's have a rumble! Let's have it out! Okay, so I don't think cactus is coming into here. By the way, we got a noise in the ear from Mitch24. Resubscribed for 2 months saying, love your vids. Keep it up. Thanks so much, dude. I appreciate your support. Hope you're enjoying the stream. It's probably easier for me just to bring on the old camera account and check this out quickly. So we'll do that. Let's have a rumble! Okay. Bringing on the old, ye old camera accounter. From way back in the when. Did you turn the flower farm off? That one with the flying machine? No, I didn't, because I need it to continuously run. I know the area's not loaded, but I'll go back there after the stream. Let's press the magic button. And oh look, what's this? Ha! Oh yeah, I need to take a screenshot for this stream, don't I? Let's just take a screenshot of me right here. There you go. Screenshot for the thumbnail. Woohoo. Okay, so the cactus should come from here, but it's not. But it's not! Ah. Oh, look. Something was missed down here. Now, how would I get to that without destroying the world? I guess I dig into this space and then go into that block, and I need to put something there, which would be ice and... yes. I need ice and an open trapdoor. Okay. Let's go back to my other account. Ice and an open trapdoor is required currently. So, 2 boxes. I said trapdoor, I meant fence gate, but I could use a trapdoor, so... okay, here we go. One of these. You're not ice. Where's ice? It's in here now. I forgot that I changed that. Because look, no need to carry around a full shulker box dedicated to ice when you just need 1 block every now and then. Speaking of which, let's have the compressed. Alright. Alright. I also need a bed. That's the other thing I need. Also, if you can hear a trapdoor, that's the camera account being next to the trapdoor. What was one of the most interesting parts of Rome? Sorry if it's already been asked. On my, I'd said everything I had to say about Rome already. It'll be uploaded to the Asuma Says channel. So if you're not subscribed to the Asuma Says channel, you should go subscribe to it. And then when you catch that video, I'm going to edit it in. I'm not going to edit it. But there will be images of the things that I talk about edited. You're just going to walk away? Don't you want to hiss and blow up? Walking away from me. Oh, the cheek. The cheek, the nerve. So I think it's this block here. Oh, maybe that block. Aha. Ooh, ah. And now we should get cactus again. So we didn't even know that we had a cactus storage problem, but we solved it. Amazing, beautiful, wonderful. There we go. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here, scamp. Right. Assuming you should build a tower that's completely TNT and blow it up on the last episode, says Pirate Talks. I was thinking of building a giant creeper somewhere and filling it with TNT. That would be cool. This one here, though, I totally struggled with the design of this tower. That was something I was planning on doing on a stream as well. Maybe showing some of the ideas I had and maybe changing it around a little bit. Actually, when I look at it from here, I do kind of feel like I could perhaps take that purple and the greys and maybe... I could probably do something with this. Just need to take a different approach. Do y'all want to see what I was working on? I'm not even sure if it's possible for me to show you as well, but I could go have a look. You know? Cactus circle averted. Just done Sarah. Oh, it wouldn't have been quite like that. You know, it wasn't that over the top, but I know what you're talking about. Whoopsie doozy. People are saying yes. Please don't use purple. I think it'd be cool to use purple. Okay, let's go try and launch. Oh, okay, I will be able to show you it, possibly. Anyway, I'm launching another client, so I'll be able to show you the tower stuff that I worked on. A lot of it, unfortunately, was just kind of like erased and rebuilt again. I think there's just one or two things left of interest. I don't think these need to be here, and I don't know why they're there, and I don't know how water got down here either. But that needs to be fixed. Also, look at this. What a mess. What a complete and utter mess. Oh yeah, and I was supposed to pick up a few stacks of cactus. I'm so distracted. Oh jeez, right. Several hundred stacks. So if I go onto the plot world, which you might be able to see now. Yeah, you can see it. Look at that Corrales looking house. Where on earth am I? So coming back over here. Yes, look at this. So I took the base of the building we were working on and tried all sorts of different experiments. There was a lot of back and forth and changing of things around here. That kind of looks magical. Now that I, you know, rested thy eyes. Come back and look at it again. Yeah, these were just some of the experiments that I was doing, messing around with colour and shape. Wanted to make like an abstract art tower. This one actually ended up looking pretty good. I don't really remember what I was thinking when I did this one, but kind of looks pretty cool. But yes, I need to come up with some sort of tower design for the top of it, is essentially the idea. And it would be just resting in that space there. Anyway, down here I know what we need to do. We need to rip out this basement and build something down here. So what I want to do is make it so you don't see any of the colours up top when you're in this basement bit. It's going to be kind of like a walk-in entrance, but the entrance is going to lower, and it will probably start from about... Actually, let's start it from back here, maybe. So all of this will lower down a bit. And then that room will open up. And in here, we've got to create a storage system for all of the berries. It doesn't need to be a big storage system, just needs to, you know, house a few stacks. It's all simple stuff. We've got a noise in here from Randy Nicole 2002 gifting a sub to Anderzel. We've got Anderzel watching. Of the one and only Minecraft. Anderzel says, I mean, this is a dirty Hermitcrafter. My lifelong nemesis clan. Good to have you with us, man. Let's keep building. This is a dirty hermitcraft. Am I a dirty? Are you saying I'm a dirty hermitcrafter? Why are you farming berries, says Mano Sakama? Yeah, that's a good question, because they ain't got much use, have they? Unless you want to create like a little garden trap. You know, walk into a garden, think it's all good. Nope, stuck in a berry bush. Wait, where are the rest of my slabs? Oh, no, that was all I had. Okay. We want to put a shulker box thing out here to chuck in all of this stuff. And right, I'm going to need all sorts of organisation now. We need some wood of the dark oak. Kablamo. Build out these staircases down. Also, I've got like stone blocks here on display. That's surely not... Yeah, that's not necessary. Same in the corner. Don't know what's going to go there. Also, what height are we working with? So I'm going to keep those blocks, although... Maybe not, because... Now I've got a question to answer. Now I've got a question to answer. Maybe I could fill it with slabs. Up there at that level. My god, this inventory is disgusting. If I'm going to get anything done, I'm going to need to put some of this stuff away for a moment. Right. Yep. Wait, I already had a chest there. And I have a stack of torches. Don't know where I got those from. Okay, that's much nicer. So, we need terracotta blocks for the old building. We need slabs, which are in this one. So I'm going to need a whole bunch of those. A whole bunch of these. So it'll come down like this. Right, and then I'm saying we might want slabs up the top here. What type of slab? Maybe andesite? Which is probably in a different chest. Oh, we got a noise in here from Echo Art, resubscribing for 7 months, saying Pride Wing. Pride Wing left, Pride Wing right. It's the old emote codes, isn't it? Thank you so much, Echo Art, for your support. I appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying the stream. Why you Brits got to mix grapes with bread? Who's mixing the grapes with the bread? What are you even on about? What are you even on about? So I'm not really a fan of the plain, oh there it is, that'll do type ceiling like that. But we've got a noise in the ear incoming. But I think that might be a grid we can work with for the roof shape. Maybe we'll put a bit more of a pattern there. So we can have that going on. That could go back by 2 if we want. But really, all I want to do is put the collection system at the front of a short spot here. How could I get this to work? I could actually kind of use the whole room here, which would look more interesting. Many ideas flowing through my mind for this space. That's all I can say right now. Many ideas. But the height feels about right, so we'll stick with that. Oh... Do I want to remove... Actually, I probably don't want to remove that, because I need to get up there and change some redstone in a minute. Jeez, we'll leave that alone then. Right, we got noises in the air, because Eddie0505 has dropped a sub-bomb on our heads. Oh, jeez. Where are we putting these blocks? Over here. Is my bed in there? Where'd my bed go? Where'd the bed go? Ah, it's in here. There we go. Eddie, thank you so much for gifting the subs. I appreciate it. If you hear your name being read out loud, you are now a subscriber. We got Metty Lenny, King Tardis, King Tradis, Rutastic, Kuertati1, Kalak Ook on Halsuli Lama, Y3 Hello, Zamzy123, Mario23, Lego Tomb, and Pig Puncher 5. Thank you ever so much, peeps. Truly appreciate you tuning in. You're now a subscriber. Thanks to Eddie. Feel free to say thanks to Eddie in chat. Many butcher name emotes are now going around in chat. If I butchered your name, then you can throw that emote into the chat because you are a subscriber. You're subscribed whether you like it or not. You can't escape. You can't escape the derp now. You're subscribed. We also got Silitro resubscribed for 4 months, saying thanks for the great content. Love your down-to-earth and balanced insights. Thank you, I appreciate that. We've also got Drink Beppis. Drink Beppis, thank you ever so much for your subscription. Thank you again, Eddie. Appreciate it. Appreciate it ever so much. Okay, so down here in the room that desperately needs some decoration, we shall put this shape into the room, like so. And then in the middle, we'll create a hole. And that will be the hole in which the items fall through. Oh, I must say though, I enjoy looking upwards. It's like seeing the rainbow effect. It's kind of nice. Like, what if I could clean up the sea lanterns and keep this in place? I think I'm probably overthinking it. I'll probably end up making too much work trying to, you know, because I could go in, I could put more color blocks on the inside and fill in all the spaces for us to see. But this is just a collection area from the inside. Let's not overdo it here. You know, I am trying to wrap up Tower Bay, and I am trying to think about how many projects we got. I don't like having too many loose ends. You know, use glass, says Sean. Yeah, glass ceiling could definitely help, but it's not quite what we're going to do. Now, these berries are going to give me a pain in the bum, they are. Because they're going to be everywhere now. Oh, look at that, you made a mess. Okay. So, I guess forward-facing chests makes the most sense. So, here I am at the collection point. And then the chest would be here. I'm just going to put 3 chests in. I don't need a crazy big storage system, right? I could have it actually more than that. Could have... no, because then that block will be a problem. Alright, so... in go the berry bushes. In go more of the berry bushes. I should probably put some lights in this area as well. Okay, I'm thinking like, why did those other ones not go in my inventory? It's because they're still falling down. They're still falling down. Where did I put my lights? I put them over here. Cool. We're going to need a technical block, which is the cobweb. Aha, I've got one. I've got many. And we're going to have to refinagle some redstone as well, which probably means I need to get out the old redstone box. Let's just bring that one with us. Okay, before I head up top, torches. Chip in chat asks, what's the shulker box thing you don't see on Vanilla Tweaks? That's just a mod. That's not part of the Vanilla Tweaks, unfortunately. That's why everyone asks the resource pack all of a sudden. It's not the actual resource pack. It's the mod, isn't it? Badger says the Joe video is like 5k views now. What is the Joe video? Is this Java Edition Minecraft? Asks Snowfox Games. It is indeed Java Edition. I wish I had some scaffolding with me. Luckily, I've got some traditional scaffolding, which is any old block you can find. Okay, so you can see this tube that I made is not aligned with our interests. That was a sort of joke. Wasn't a funny one. It was just something I said. Okay, so we need it to drop through this spot here, basically. The items have got to drop down from there. So this is already in the wrong space, you know. Oh, this is going to be such a pain in the bum, but we'll get it done. So we're going to come up to this site. Start tearing out some more of this. We've got to tear out the redstone as well. Okay, let's have a look. One of those simple designs. I can rebuild that from memory quite easy. So I'm going to need some hoppers up here, I reckon. That's where I'm going to suffer a little bit. Okay, so let's take that to begin with. Place it a little bit lower, facing downwards. So that is the spot. Let's just shimmy on there. Shimmy, shimmy, yum, shimmy, oh, shimmy, yay. Give me the mic so I can take it away. Let's swap this around. Okay, gonna bring that out here. So, comparator first. Then do we have, I think it's repeater into a block with redstone on the side of it. Yeah, this is looking right. Repeater here. Nope, that's wrong. Going into that, and then going into that. Bam. Okay, that's the clock that we need. This block does not need to be here. Now we need to get rid of all the grass, and then put a cobweb down below. I'm also going to chuck a torch or two around this area. So, then we need a way for the hoppers to bring the items here. This is where I need my little redstone box for a moment. Let's do this the sort of efficient way. And use a dropper. And then put a hopper. Okay, so that's going to work immediately. Brilliant. Oh, jeez, why did I think I'd jump on that box? Why did I think I could jump on that? Oh, we've got to go all the way back up. Well, that was just silly. Vocivus Vox says he has the cobweb already. He is going to use it. I am going to use that cobweb. It does mean the items will hang out in the cobweb for a while, but that's fine. Passamega says, hi Asuma, my test world recently got corrupted and crashes now. I suspect a command block would be causing this, but I don't know of a program to edit the world to remove it. Do you know of any program that can do that? If you know where the command block is and you can figure out its coordinates and its chunk, then you could use MBT editor to go in and manually edit the block through the MBT data, which is tedious and difficult, but it's doable. Also, I know you don't want to hear me say it, but this is why you make backups. Backups, backups, backups. All the time. Okay, now where are my berries at? Are we going to get some coming through here so I can test this? I don't know, but I'm going to put a cobweb right there. I will also surround this in blocks, which might not be necessary, but I'm going to do it anyway. So, blocks on all sides. And then let's give it some berries. And see what happens. Aha. It's very slowly moving downwards, but it will stay in the centre by the looks of it. And any second now you're going to fall. Fall, fall. There you go. Okay. That's good enough for me. That's good enough for me. We'll go check out if they landed in the correct spot or not. Whoa. And we're going to punch. Oh, jeez. No, no. Don't let me die. I don't want to die on a stream. Okay, there we go. Okay. Oh, my greatest fears just realised. I do not want to die on a stream. Okay, I've had enough derpiness. I guess my test didn't really work because there were berries already on the ground. But we'll see soon enough if they fall down into the correct spot or not. Never knew says, lol, one of us, one of us. I'm just a normal Minecrafter. I'm capable of death. Where do we go from here then? So I had loads of janky scaffolding all over the place, I guess, probably. If I stick my head up here, I'll be able to... Yeah, look at this. Just pick all this up. Oh, I think I saw a berry fall down then. Hello? Can we have a berry, please? Hello? Oh, do you know what? The minecart hopper up there could get stuck because of how silly this game is, I guess. Right, so... in terms of patterns... You know, I've been quite inspired by all the mosaics in Rome and whatnot. These are kind of like Roman marbles now. That's the way I look at these blocks all of a sudden. Elegant diorite and granite. What is that voice? What is that voice? I have no idea. Yeah, elegant blocks. When you put them together like this, they just look a little bit janky, I think. Doesn't really say anything about the theme. Doesn't really have a need to be there. I think if you're going to use those, you need to use them in balance with what else is around it, right? So we won't do that. What I'm thinking though is we're going to put a light source in there, so we need some sea lanterns. X, if only there was a shop that sells items that gives you immunity from death at least once. If only. If only. I love seeing Krallis in his videos with that Totem of the Undying on his offhand. Always ready. What am I looking for? Sea lanterns. So we need 6 of these. 1 here. That's in the wrong spot. Do it again. Best voice ever, says Manhart. I was so immediately like, what was that? What did I say? We need some marbles and we need some marvelous diorite. Was that kind of how it sounded? I don't know what voice that is. Have you got a tuppence, dear? That's what it sounds like. Some old timer's voice. Tuppence. Jai-Sun1516 is here, subscribe with Amazon Prime. Thank you so much for your subscription, dude. I appreciate your support. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Asuma, didn't Google about it, but just asking you, did you upload a video in YouTube that shows how to build a raid farm? And is it easy to build like the new iron farm? The one that I built is in my Hermitcraft episode, like the process of me building it, but it is a Double Moses farm, and Double Moses has the tutorial that you are looking for. So search for Double Moses and you'll find his raid farm tutorial. Also, Double Moses, message me if you're there. I mean, you might not be there. I just saw the berries going. That's amazing. Message me on Discord, so when I see it later, I can message you back. There's something I needed to talk to you about. All right. You're in trouble, young man. No, you're not. You're not. You're absolutely fine. Or maybe you are. No, you're okay. You're good. You're good. Don't worry. Oh, I could put a sea lantern down there, I was thinking. Right, let's go pick out a slab. You know, I'm having trouble doing the basics. I might just go for more polished andesite, just to keep it plain and simple sometimes. Could use a few stairs in there as well, maybe? Now I need a crafting bench. Oh, the chest monsters have returned. They're everywhere again. Scaffolding? I don't need that. I need a crafting bench. There we go. I'm actually going to put the crafting bench down here. Not that you craft sweet berries of anything, but it will be part of the floor. Part of the room. Okay, so we could possibly, you know, you might think you're going to put one on the outside, but what if we did that? Or better yet, flip them round the other way. I do like that. That's all right. Just adds a little something extra. Oh, fell. Adds a little something extra. Oh, and I see something happening. I see something happening. Wait, what way around did I do it? Outside. So now let's try it inside. Wow. Me spinning around here is making you dizzy. It's making me dizzy too. I'm still getting adjusted from my holiday. I've still got some Minecraftiness going on. We could put a sea lantern in there. Sea lantern? Ugh. The other lantern. Jeez, I'm making me sound like a goofball now. Sounded like a goofball. Do we have the regular andesite? We do. It needs to be turned into the polished. What part of Rome did you went to? Says a baby orca. the central part of Rome. Let's do that. And what was the idea? Lantern, yeah, so like having that in there. Whoopsie doozy. Diddly daisy. That kind of looks alright. And what about when it's open? Not sure actually. I think I like the open one more. See more of the lantern. We don't really need the other sea lantern above it anymore as well, so goodbye. Could do that. I like the open better. Close is better. I mean, contradicting opinions in chat. Goodness me. Come to a consensus, people. Please. Don't make me do all the work. Let's put this over here. Yeah, we'll go with the open style just because it's a little bit more unorthodox. And sometimes that's fun. Badger says I vote for butts. Of course you do. Gotta make it difficult for me. Okay, so I guess we'll rip out all of these and just build some of this from up here for now. Oakley dokley. Diddly doodly. Riffraff is here! Gifting the subs. Also, before Riffraff, Blur54 and Serana SK have resubscribed. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the streams. Welcome. We also got Riffraff here dropping a sub bomb, gifting subs to Mr. Building, User Bob 3, Yeet is a Meme 18, Legoxy 12, Hyperstream X, LGC or LG Sidel, Mina Lucasar, The Noddy, Peter Colo, and Blue Ghost Master. Thank you ever so much for tuning in, peeps. I appreciate your support. And you are now a subscriber. That's why your name was being read out. You can now throw the emotes like the classic butcher and name emote, one of the most popular ever used. Yeah, thank you so much, Riffraff. Can't thank you enough. Peeps, if you're now a subscriber, if you heard your name being read out, be sure to say thanks to Riffraff for gifting you the sub. Do you have any... I could have built that on the server moments in Rome, says Fuzzman. I had like some definite insights, some real moments of like, oh, like just seeing things through a different lens all of a sudden. More so with laying out buildings and pathways than the architecture specifically. I kept thinking this is very difficult to translate into Minecraft when I was looking at the buildings, because I mean, one of the fantastic things about the Roman architecture is the detail, the marble statues, and the columns. Now you can get away with quartz pillars as marble, and wait, what am I coming back for? Oh yeah, you can get away with those things, and you can get away with like the columns being made out of quartz, right? Why am I going with this thought train? Jeez, I totally lost it. You can get away with using quartz as pillars in columns. What you can't kind of do is the roofs, because they're slanted at an angle with a particular texture that you don't really have something that matches. And then you got those like details, like I mentioned, and the plaques as well. Like if we had like a stone plaque, like as a sign, then you could probably emulate some of those bits. But yeah, there's just too many particulars in the Roman palette that don't really translate well in Minecraft, I think. Obviously, it probably is doable on some level, right? Everything's technically doable. But I think it would force you to build in a really large scale to smooth out the sort of gradients you need for the roofs, and to fit the details in, you have to go really large, and then it becomes harder to build at scale when you do that. You end up having to build like one thing just because the project is so big. Right, so we've got our ceiling design down, and now we can look at the walls a little bit. What's crazy here is that we can actually rip out all of these blocks, so we can put whatever material we like in those spaces. And that's what I'll do next. Just get all of this prepped. Diorite is pretty marble-ish, says Badger. Yeah, diorite would become quite valuable. Polished diorite even is very marble-ish. But it's just the scale. It's just the scale, you know. And the way they do patterns and mosaics. There's so much detail in the Roman build style. And I just think, without mods, I think it would be quite difficult to do it on a livable scale. You know, something you could do in survival and walk around and enjoy the architecture. You'd have to do things on a really large scale. And I know it's not impossible, it's just, I don't think it would look all that great. So, yeah, I don't see myself now all of a sudden building Roman architecture or anything like that. But I'm definitely intrigued. I definitely want to go look up some mod packs. I wanted to look up city skylines as well and see what was possible with that game. But I do now see in my Season 7 plans that I'm going to probably incorporate more buildings on some of the things that I saw. One I saw that really inspired me was just the layout of like house here, and then like a stairwell that comes down the side and curves and turns, and then you've got the arches with little open spaces. Just made me realise how the environment that you're in can be shaped in different ways, and making use of like levels as well, like not building everything on a flat slope can go a long way, I think. A long way. Season 7 plans, says Real Fally. Don't get your hopes up. I mean, Season 6finity has to finish first, but, you know, that's a problem of its own. Oh yeah, these bits come out, don't they? Right, yeah, that's right. That block can... no, that can stay there. Cool. Alright, it's all kind of prepped for me to do the last bit now, which is alright. Oh, am I taking damage? No. Why do I think I was taking damage? I got no idea. I got no explanation. Anyway, peeps, what I wanted to say was make sure to go and subscribe to Asuma Says, my brand new channel. My bit about Rome will be edited on there eventually, and I hope you all enjoy that. But right now we come to the end of this live stream, so we're going to do a raid, as we so often do. I'm going to pick out a random Minecraft channel, and I want you to be a part of the raid. So, oh, there's someone here from Psycraft. I don't know who this person is. I think some of the Psycraft peeps might be German. So, anyway, we're going to raid someone from Psycraft, because Twitch recommended it to me. Alright, hit the raid button in chat. And I thank you for doing that. Peeps, that's it. I might do another stream tomorrow, believe it or not. But thank you so much for tuning in today. Thank you to all the peeps who subscribed, resubscribed, donated, and cheered. I will see you all very soon. Thank you to all of my patrons. And like I said, might see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.